There are over 37 million Canadians in the world, and around 2.8 million Canadians live outside of Canada. Which parts of the world do they live and work? Number 1. Not surprising at all. Over a million Canadians live and work in the United States. Number 2. Hong Kong, with 300,000 Canadians. Number 3. The UK, with 87,000 Canadians. You see, there is a significant number of Canadians living in Hong Kong, according to a report from the Asia Pacific Foundation of Canada. Most Canadians living in Hong Kong were born in Hong Kong and only lived in Canada for 4 to 5 years. What's interesting is that more than 60% plan to return to Canada at some point. The report was from 2011, so the percentage is likely even higher now due to the recent political situation. With that said, it is not easy to leave everything you established behind and just move to another place. So even though most people plan to return to Canada at some point, most don't have a solid plan or an exact date. By far, the most popular choice is to buy investment properties in Canada, so you keep your options open for the future by tracking the Canadian real estate market. If you do come back one day, you can trade the investment property for a self-use property. If you don't end up coming back, you are still diversifying your investment portfolio. When Hong Kong Canadians look for an investment property in Toronto, they have very different requirements than local Canadians. What seemed really attractive to a local might not be important to the Hong Kong Canadian at all. Let me share with you the 3 most important requirements from a Hong Kong investor. If you are watching my video for the first time, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell because you don't want to miss out on market knowledge and updates, right? 3 requirements from Hong Kong Canadian investor. Number 1. Famous landmarks. Imagine you only live in Toronto for 4 to 5 years, and that was 15-20 years ago. What would you know about downtown Toronto? The CN Tower, the University of Toronto, Ryerson University, Eaton Centre, the subway, the hospitals. Those are the most famous landmarks in downtown Toronto 20 years ago. And they are still the most famous today. So you can't really go wrong picking a location close to any of these famous landmarks because they are history proven, right? For us locals, we know that downtown Toronto has expanded so dramatically in the past decade. Endless constructions, lineup for everything, traffic jam day and night are all signatures of downtown Toronto. With restaurants' patios reopening, you might think that people are still hesitant to go out. The truth is, you need to make reservations at least 1 week in advance. And restaurants keep expanding their patios to catch the demand. Downtown Toronto will continue to expand, and there are many rising neighborhoods with excellent growth potentials. But if you moved back to Hong Kong more than 10 years ago, it is hard to visualize the growth potential because you didn't witness the change. So it is very natural for you to stick with what you know and what you believe, and there is really nothing wrong with that. You will always be fine picking a location close to those famous landmarks. The only thing is that they will obviously be more expensive. For most Hong Kong Canadians, they will pay the price premium to be in the most central locations. You see, that's why there will always be demand in the most central location. When you are not familiar with the place or you are a new immigrant, you would stick with what you know, the famous landmarks, because history tells you that's the safest thing to do. For local people, they are familiar with the city. They understand the developments and they can see further ahead. So they are much more receptive about future growth areas. By the way, if you haven't watched my crash course on the different neighborhoods in downtown Toronto, make sure you click the link below and watch it afterwards. Number 2, a developer with proven results. There's really only a handful of developers who have been actively building in central downtown around those famous landmarks over the past 10 years. Out of those developers, only a very limited few have shown a proven track record of making investors happy. What does that mean? You see, some buildings are much more popular than others, even though they are all in a similar area. The more popular building may have much more functional layouts, or it has more attractive amenities. A developer who makes investors happy is one who knows exactly the market demands. Simply put, their buildings rent faster, sell faster, and appreciate faster. Number 3, the pricing sweet spot. The sweet investment amount for most Hong Kong Canadians is around $1 million Hong Kong dollars. And that would be used as the 20 to 30% down payment. So this translates to a property price of around 750,000 Canadian dollars. You see, anything in the price range of $700,000 to $800,000 at a prime central downtown location and built by a developer with proven track record would sell immediately in the Hong Kong Canadian community. The biggest challenge comes when you want brand new. And I know a lot of Hong Kong Canadians like to buy brand new stuff. But there's not much land left at prime central locations. So I have been telling you to wait. Finally, there's something that fits all 3 requirements. I cannot unveil the project details in this video, but if you are looking to satisfy all those 3 requirements, you should schedule a call with me now at the link below so you won't miss out.